1 minute. Okay, perfect. All right, now call this regularly scheduled meeting to order. If you'll join in the salute to our nation's flag. Ready? Begin. Good evening, everyone. We will do a roll call and declaration of conflicts of interest, please.
Councilmember Abram? Here and none. Councilmember Bixel?
Here and none.
Vice Mayor Franco?
Here and none.
Councilmember Moniz?
Here and none.
Mayor Bublak?
Here and none. Thank you for that. Approval of agenda as posted or amended.
So moved. Second. Third.
Okay, that pretty much is the vote too. No, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Councilmember Bixel?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Franco?
Yes.
Councilmember Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, passes 5-0. All right, this presentation by Diana Lewis, our elected city treasurer. Welcome, young lady.
I don't feel young when I look around this room. I don't know hardly anybody at that table anymore. I just wanted to say good evening, and I don't really have a lot to say tonight, except to just present. I did make the chart that shows your revenue for the last, I think it's 13 years from income investments. And if you have any questions, I'd be glad to meet with you individually or to talk tonight. But, excuse me. But this evening, I just wanted to let you know that I do, my goal, my job as city treasurer is to invest long-term monies with the help of our finance director, Isaac. You know, he can guide me in like what money is available, so forth, if we have long-term projects that are coming up, if we have bond proceeds that we need to take into account, if we have any expenditures. So it's a fluctuating it's a target that's moving all the time. But what I try to do is to ladder the portfolio to make the investments so that there's some money coming in, revenue, interest money coming in every month, and that one of those investments matures monthly. Some months are not able to do it, but most months we are, and I do it on a 5-year plan. I can go out 5 years according to policy. All of the investments are in compliance with the state investment policy and with our investment policy, which mirrors the state pretty much. There's not much difference there at all. We buy agencies that are AAA. There may be a couple of AA's, but they're all AAA, trying to make the best, safest investments that'll make the maximum amount of revenue that we can get, but being safe too. As far as rates, they're up and down. You can see on that chart, there are years that are good, years that are bad, based on I don't play the market. I don't follow the market. I don't have a crystal ball. I wouldn't be here tonight if I did that. I would be doing something else on a beach because I don't need to work if that's the case. But since I don't, and I don't know anyone else that has one either, you just have to go with past experience. You watch the market. It does influence us, but it's not how I make investments, nor I'm sure Isaac would do that either. So that's how that goes. So we look at what's going on. I try to plan 5 years out to make an investment that will be good for us. So I always like to tell this story. When I've been city treasurer I'm going to my 23rd year. My first year, I looked at and I'll say it was Rob Hilberg was the city treasurer. I looked at some investments he'd made. I was making returns of 7 and 8% on daily investments with commercial paper. He was making 1 and 2% investments on his long term. And I made a comment to the person I was working with that this was crazy. Why would he make an investment like that? Well, as you go on, you see how you make an investment like that because it fluctuates so much from year to year, right now, quarter to quarter, month to month, that you're looking at safety and liquidity for your establishment, and that's what you do. So that's how that works. But all the investments are compliant. One of the questions that I was asked was, it looks as though we have some local banks, and I try to invest with local banks too, and it's above the FDIC allowance of the $250,000 that it's insured for. When we invest money in local banks, it has to be collateralized at above 100%. So it's a minimum of 103 to possibly 150, depending on how they're going to invest. And we have a contract with them, so that's never a question. We don't have to worry about that money. And I think that was pretty much, oh, the one thing I did want to say to you is that I understand you haven't been getting the investment reports. We talked today about that, and we've got something set up now, so they'll be in your packet. Most likely the first meeting of every month. So you should see those in the future, hopefully.
Okay.
Is there anything?
Somebody can reach out to you if somebody's watching online or something and get a hold of you via the email.
Yes.
Okay, and
Okay.
just call City Hall, they can get the email or something too.
Okay, yeah,
Okay?
yeah. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much for coming in. I know I was the one that was asking to hear from you and for making these reports and making sure that we're
Thank
getting
you.
them. So
You're
thank
welcome.
you for
Thanks,
being
Kathy.
available to the public.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And thank you for your 23 years of service.
Oh, thank you.
Keep up the great work, please.
Thanks. Thanks.
Have fun at the fair.
Thank you.
All right. All right, we're gonna have public participation at this time. I have 2 cards, and John, you're first.
Well, I was all bummed out. A week ago was the 4th of July. I didn't have a 4th. I spent my 4th of July in the emergency room. Bummer. But, and then I spent the next 5 days recovering from that. So I was lucky I had a good neighbor that plucked me off the floor and took me down to Kaiser and everything else like that. But I had, 5 days sitting in the hospital, can't get out of bed, and all this kind of good stuff. And you realize that all the things that go on that wouldn't happen in this world if we didn't have everything that we have going on in this modern world. Now, see, even you guys are necessary.
Wow. Are you sure?
Yeah, and everything else like that. And so you realize that, everything's got to work and somebody's got to make sure it gets worked and everything, but you usually get blamed when it doesn't work, right? That's just the way it is. But it was just like in the hospital. You sit there and everybody's doing their own little thing. They're all cogs in the wheel. You have the people that come and clean the rooms. You have the people that wake you up at 4 in the morning to take blood from you and everything else like that. And they come in and, put leads on you and rip your hair off when they take them off and all that kind of good stuff. But then you have the people that are fixing all the problems that aren't there and, and just all the things. And then the last day when I'm ready to go home, my cousin is waiting down to pick me up. She's been there for 45 minutes, and they called a transport. Well, transport never showed up. So luckily I had good nurses and nurses aid, and they got me down. But it's just a realization that we take for granted all the things that just happen, and until it's gone, and one cog gets missed out, and everything else like that you just realize. And it's just like I say, the 4th of July was the best day I could have been sick, because I got in 10 minutes in the emergency room, I got seen by a doctor.
Note to self.
Believe there was nobody there, hardly anybody there. So I was blessed in that type of thing, and I'm lucky because I may not been here if I had to wait too long and everything. So thanks a lot for doing all you do, and all the people over there that are doing all that kind of good stuff. Thanks.
Glad you're better. Mayor's, you ready?
No, I said she couldn't retire.
Well, I haven't yet. Good evening, Mayor, council members, and the community. I'm Mayor Sturdivant from the We Care program. I want to give a short little narrative about the Navigation Center. So I had said when I came before and when we got the thing that I wanted to do a monthly report, because I know that there's a lot of community members who are very curious about how this is working. So I want to thank the city of Turlock for picking us to have the opportunity to operate this program. It's a pilot program for 6 months. We were able to open the doors finally on June 7th, And the program is open from 7:30 to 3, 5 days a week. I think the hours may be subject to change when the kitchen and dining hall are done, and maybe we can stretch that time a little bit longer. We'll have to see, and that'll be based on the funding also. So we'll see how that goes. We have hired 2 full-time staff and 1 half-time staff. The Housing Navigation Service Manager is John Madruga. Our Supportive Navigation Case Manager is Corey Mai, and a part-time Rapid Rehousing Case Manager is Miriam Smith. And we have a security guard on site the whole time it's open. The site provides a space for those experiencing homelessness, the opportunity to be off of the streets, out of the weather, and access to a restroom. And that's a very important item. They can meet individually with any of our staff. Our staff are able to help people with a variety of different services, such as job searching, resume assistance, replacing ID cards, applications for CalFresh, SSI, and sharing information about other services that are available within the county for them, and lending a friendly ear, which is another very important asset. I think that JJ can comment about that. We also have books available. We have games to play. We have puzzles to do. We have movies to watch. And Paul Mitchell hairstyling school is coming once a month to do haircuts for the guys. So they were there today. There was a lot of students there, probably more students than there were homeless people, but it was great to see the students there and doing the haircuts for the homeless. We are also thankful to the Community Health Centers of America, who are making medical services easily available to the homeless. They come to the center once a month, and that is provided through Legacy Health Endowment. And they come with a physician's assistant or a doctor. This has been a great service for those at the center. Everyone also has the opportunity to meet with a mental health clinician that comes to us through La Familia. And La Familia is also in the next week is going to provide a drug and alcohol therapist on site 5 days a week. So it's turned into a little bit more than just a place for them to be. I'm not one, I want services, and so I've been out there looking. And the HAT team from Turning Point visits the center monthly, and this is so the homeless can complete a VISPADAT form so they can be placed on the housing list for the whole county, and any nonprofit who does housing can pick somebody from that list to house. So from June 7th through June 30th, we served a total of 95 unduplicated people. That means they came one time. And we have 95 files on hand because we do a file on everybody. We do the HMIS paperwork. During that period of time, we had 200 came on multiple days, counting them only once during a particular day. So the people are in and out. So at lunchtime, they go to the Gospel Mission and get lunch, so they have to check out. And then they come back and they check in again. So in that count where it's a duplicated, they've been there more than once in a day, that count was 489 sign-ins for that period of time. So that's a lot of people that are in and out of that building in that 23 days. So they go to lunch at the Gospel Mission in the United Samaritans food truck. We have had 3 incidences were reported from that time that the staff felt were necessary to call 911. So I just wanted you guys to know I had said I would come monthly to give you a report, and so I wanted to follow through with that.
Appreciate
Does
that.
anybody have any questions?
No, Mr. Wilson, if in the future, once a month, we'll just connect with her and put her on as a presentation as opposed to, because it'll
Oh,
take.
because I've run out of time. 'Cause I-
Right, yeah. That's okay. I mean,
Be glad to do that.
Thanks.
thank you. All right. I have no other cards. Was there anyone else who wanted to speak in the public comment time? Kristan?
Good evening, Mayor Bublak, City Council, and staff. Kristan Santos here representing the office of Congressman John Duarte. The Congressman would just like to take the time to say he was so immensely grateful to be a part of the ceremony with the City of Turlock, honoring George Pirro with the key to the city. And just listening to the invocation, thinking about the blessings of freedom, you'd be very hard-pressed to find a community across the entire world or nation that would be more appreciative of the blessings of freedom than the Assyrian community here in Turlock. Turlock is one of the hubs worldwide for the Assyrian diaspora, and we've had many opportunities, our office has had, to interface with the Assyrian community and talk to these beloved and esteemed members of our business community, our medical community, our academic community, and of course our faith-based community. The Congressman also took the opportunity to announce that he's signing on to a resolution currently in the House of Representatives with Congresswoman Debbie Lesko of Arizona recognizing the Assembly Massacre. We also had the opportunity to join Catholicos Patriarch, His Holiness Mar Awad III, for the laying of the foundation stone for the new church of the Assyrian Church of the East for the Mara Day Parish of Turlock and Denair. And we also had the opportunity to have the Congressman have a personal private audience with His Holiness Mar Awad III to discuss issues affecting the Assyrian American diaspora and opportunities for Assyrian youth. And we're just so grateful to have this community here in Turlock and in the 13th District. He's also busy in DC working on the Farm Workforce Modernization Act. He's reintroducing that with a bipartisan coalition including Congressman Jim Costa, Congressman Jimmy Panetta, and Mike Simpson of Idaho. It would modernize the H-2A program and create more flexibility for employers and also include critical protections for workers and would let these farm workers have the opportunity to seek legal status if and only if they continue in agricultural employment and contributing to our agricultural economy. It is the lifeblood of the Central Valley and Stanislaus County, so we're extremely glad to be signing on to that effort as well. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, let's close the public comment and a motion waiving reading of all ordinances on the agenda except by title.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Councilmember Bixel?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Franco?
Yes.
Councilmember Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, passes 5-0. Consent calendar. Are there any items to be removed for separate consideration? If not,
Motion approved.
Second.
motion and a second. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Councilmember Bixel?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Franco?
Yes.
Councilmember Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, passes 5-0. Thank you. Final readings, we have one. So it is for the garbage, recyclable materials, and organic waste. I will go ahead and open it to the public. Anyone wishing to speak regarding this? Want to talk garbage? Anybody? Okay, I'll close public comment, bring it back for a action.
Motion to approve?
Second?
A motion and a second on the left side over here. That's awesome. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Councilmember Bixel?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Franco?
Yes.
Councilmember Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, passes 5-0. Thank you. All right, public hearings. We have item 7A is rescinding a resolution about the fair. Who's going to be speaking to this one? Oh, look at that, Mr. York. Why is it that if you ride BART as a police officer, they let you on for free? I'm just saying. We're getting there. This is good.
Steps, baby steps.
Right.
Great.
Anyway, I don't want to take your thunder. Go ahead.
No worries. Thank you, Mayor and Council. Before you tonight is a proposal that's going to modify the transit fare structure for Turlock Transit. It's going to keep everything pretty much the same, but make three key changes, which I'll highlight here, and they're listed in the staff report. The first is that it's going to reduce the qualifying age for discount fare from 65 and above to 55 and above. So it effectively expands the
You can get it.
individuals, the group of individuals that can qualify for discount fare. It provides free fixed route trips to active duty, active reserve, and honorably discharged veterans of the U.S. military. And it extends discounts to that same group on our on-demand service, which is a reservation-based service. But again, currently they're getting discount fare on fixed route. This would make it free permanently. The third change would be to expand the free fixed route trips that are already in place for college and university staff and students and faculty. As you may recall, we did that not too long ago. And this would expand that to include all public education. So Turlock Unified staff, the students already ride for free because they're 18 and under, and that's already been in place. So all of the changes that we're proposing here tonight have positively benefit the community. There's nothing, I don't believe anything negative here that anybody would protest. This is a positive change. And the other thing I wanted to highlight is where this came from. So this originated from multiple sources, and so what staff did is consolidated feedback from a variety of different places and put it here as one proposed change. So some of that feedback was through direct conversations that we had with the mayor and city manager regarding the senior citizen age change, and so this is reflected here. We also had some community engagement meetings with the public recently, and one of the key pieces of feedback that came out of that was from a Turlock Unified School District employee that said, hey, you've got this great program for the university staff, how about us? We've also had conversations, I've had conversations with teachers that want to take their kids on field trips, and their kids ride for free, but they don't. They're like, hey, do you guys have a program for fares? And so between the different feedback that we've got from the staff, we had conversations with city manager and Director Schultz, and believe that this would be an appropriate change that furthers the goals of transit. All of these do, which is to generate more ridership, to improve our air quality, reduce traffic congestion, and so all of these meet that. And let's see, that's kind of it. So all good stuff. If approved, this would take effect August 1st. So that gives us time to print the materials that we need to put out to inform the public of this change. Again, whenever we're expanding service or we're reducing fares, the notification isn't quite as critical as if you're doing something else, right? If you're taking away service or if you're increasing fares. That being said, we're still going to do everything we can to roll out on our website, social media. We're going to post items in the map cases at the transit center. We're going to post things on the buses. So we'll make sure to do a pretty robust effort getting the word out, including at the fair. So Turlock Transit has a booth at the fair, so we're going to be pending approval of the council tonight. Of course, we've been holding off on sharing a little bit more with the public, but pending your approval tonight, we will also be actively sharing with the public at the fair to let them know what's coming. So
You might as well finish. What's going on at the fair? How do we get there?
free fare shuttle, take it from the transit center. So we're running expanded service till midnight every night of the fair, and we're running our fare shuttle. Last one leaves the fairgrounds at 11:15, running every 10 minutes. So it's a nice, easy, convenient, and cool way, literally cool, air-conditioned buses to get to the fair. And if you get there, you can meet our newest member of the transit family, Buzz, our little mascot, robotic bus that's going to be driving around and interacts
Buzz
with
is
the kids.
driving us?
Buzz is not doing the
Okay,
driving,
okay.
but yeah,
I got one.
he is.
They do have cool trinkets, though.
We got some cool toys and different stuff, different prizes, and you can tour the bus and then you get a prize and got some cool stuff going on there.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Questions for Mr. York? All right, thank you. Let me, you
I
gotta
just
get
have
that
one.
buzz button.
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, quick question, just for myself and the public. How many people use the transit daily?
So daily, we tend to track it by week because
Okay,
daily
weekly?
is, So it's, in June, it was running about 6,200 a week on fixed route across all of our routes. That tends to drop a little bit in the summer as school gets out, and then it picks up again during July when we have free fares. And so it can fluctuate, but right now, again, we're looking at about 6,200, somewhere between 6,000 to 6,200, which I can tell you is about 25% higher than our pre-pandemic high. So we're situated really well. As I talk with my peers throughout the Central Valley, a lot of them are still at more like 60 to 70% of their pre-pandemic level, so they haven't quite got back there yet. We've met and exceeded that. So Stan RTA is a little higher than their pre-pandemic high. So in Stanislaus County, we're doing pretty good.
And for those of us that have never used it,
Oh
how do you
my
go
God.
about figuring out how to do it? Just
Sure.
for,
Yeah.
just a quick plug is what I'm asking for.
Yeah, for sure. So there's a variety of different ways. For one, you can call us. So you can call 209-668-5600, which is our main line, and ask any questions you have, and someone will be able to help you out. You can go to our website at turlocktransit.com, and it'll walk you through. Every bus, when you board, has rider guides that walk you through the process of how to ride. And for those that are tech savvy, you can download the Transit app. So just Transit is the name of it. It's a third-party app, but it is the most popular transit planning app in North America, and it links you up with all the different transit systems. So if you want to plan a trip from here outside of the region, it will tell you exactly which system you need to transfer to, where to go, and how much it costs. So those are probably the best ways to figure it out. You're welcome.
Awesome. I'll open it to the public. Anyone wishing to speak regarding this item? Okay, close public comment. Thank you so much. Bring it back. What's the will?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Councilmember Vixel?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Franco?
Yes.
Councilmember Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes. Passes 5-0. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Mayor and Council.
All righty. Looks like the money man's up.
Money man is.
You're covering for Mr. Lynch?
Well, Mr. Shields is gonna help.
Oh, right on.
Over here. Come on over. We'll share the mic. So thank you, Honorable Mayor and council members. Today what you see is an annual report that's coming from our Measure A committee. So kind of back up what you're transpiring with the Measure A is our public tax that's on the, that we receive revenues for. We have parameters on how that information or that money is utilized. So to have an oversight board, we form a committee. That committee forms of different individuals throughout the community that meet quarterly on a quarterly basis, right? So what they do is we provide a report. This report is what you'll see as kind of similar to what you see for the annual report, which we're adopting tonight. Going through the revenues and expenditures in detail, kind of looking at the information from the financial side, as well as a summary sheet to kind of give them a clean overview of flow. So whenever I print a financial information, I like to do it in a two-pronged approach. Give a summary sheet, clean, easy to read, but at the same time have the meat behind it to show the detail directly out of the accounting system so it could all tie and flow back. So on a quarterly basis, they do get this report. One of the priorities and duties of the commission themselves is actually to have an annual report. This annual report is, again, approved and adopted on an annual basis by the committee, but it also has to come to the city council too as well. So our board member Shields is here today to present the information. Obviously, if there's any questions regarding the report, I can take that on, but he's here to certify for you that they have approved it. Thank you.
Welcome.
Good evening, Council. My name is Patrick Shields, member of the Measure A Oversight Committee. It is my pleasure to present to you this annual accountability report for the, I think it's 21-22 fiscal year. If you have any questions, Mr. Moreno is your man.
I have a question for you. So you're on the board, and so do you guys like have much argument? Do you feel like we're adhering to what we said we were going to do with the money, or does it look a little like we question it? How's it look?
No, I think it looks good. I think from both meetings that I've been a part of, I was recently appointed. Both meetings we've been a part of, the discussion has been how do we actually show the community even more that the funds are being used appropriately. I have the benefit of, when we start to talk about this in the community and I start talking to our coworkers and family members, this report and the reporting that we are able to see is very beneficial. It's easy to see where the money's going, what it's funding, and really one of our biggest discussions has been how do we get that out to the public even more? Right. What kind of posts or what kind of on the website can we do? But no, I think the money is going where it should be going. I think it's been a great opportunity for us as committee members to oversee it, but really we have opportunity just to discuss how beneficial it's been. So
Awesome. Any other questions for? Okay, let's open it to the public. All right, we'll close the public comment and bring it back. What is the will of council? We have a motion.
Thank you.
A second. Call the roll, please. Thank you.
Councilmember Abram?
Yes.
Councilmember Vixel?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Franco?
Yes.
Councilmember Moniz?
Yes.
Mayor Bublak?
Yes, passes 5-0. Thank you guys for that. And hopefully Nick's paying attention and we'll help do some IT stuff to like promote us and that we're keeping our word to the public. All right, we have a city manager's report. Mr. Wilson, anything? Button.
Okay, thank you. I needed that. The only thing I wanted to talk about was that we received some information today that we'll respond to the council with regarding their permitting processes and how friendly they are and how they're not friendly. We'll bring that back to the council. In the meantime, we'll prepare a letter that'll help you understand what's going on.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, appreciate that. All right, council items for future consideration.
I have just a couple. Yeah. When are we going to see some movement on that same-day permitting? And also the engineers who are responsible for their own clients' engineering? And then when will we also be seeing the housing 23, 24 annual action plan revision? Because now that we've got the 1.7 out there, we have to bring it back. It's got to go through public participation. I want to make sure that we have plenty of public participation, and that I'm finally going to get my senior help. And anyway,
Now that you're senior.
now that I'm a senior, I really want some help. And then Shaw has a meeting tomorrow at 5:30. The homeless students are on it, so in case anyone wanted to weigh in on that.
Did you have a response to her queries?
Do my best.
All right, that's all we ask.
In terms of the same-day permitting process, we were very close to having that done, and Katie can correct me if I'm wrong, but we're just about ready to implement that. We've vetted it through all the departments that are a part of making that happen. So that should be happening in the next couple of weeks. Okay. As a response to engineers from an outside agency submitting a report, and that's accepting the engineer stamp as opposed to sending it to our own engineering. That's following in the next month. And I forgot
Thank you.
third
The
one.
housing?
The housing, when will we see the annual action plan revision?
Katie, you'll have to answer that for me.
So we'll need to get the update drafted, so it'll take about a week, and it has to be out for 30 days and published, so it will be at least 45 days before we can bring it back to council, I would say. Yeah,
Any other items for future consideration?
I would like to just, hear a little bit more about what we're gonna do with the rest of our ARPA funds. That some of those were, we tried to divert some of that from the RAD card program and from the, what was happening with like the business development. And so if we could hear what we're doing with the remaining funds there before it needs to be, the deadline is done.
Any others?
I'd be glad to bring that back to the next council meeting.
Awesome. Council member questions, comments, and announcements. Anybody?
Yeah. 4th of July parade was a lot of fun. Thank you to the participants and everybody that planned and coordinated the 4th of July parade. July 3rd, Thursday is next week. Sports Complex Pittman, fun, food, and music. And then August 1st is the National Night Out, so mark your calendars, and you can get more information on our website and get your neighborhoods on the National Night Out.
The George Pirro event. Folks, we knocked it out of the park. Our staff did. We had dignitaries from all over the county here, and our staff from administration all the way down in every department. Nick was there. I don't want to name names because I don't want to miss anybody, because our staff worked their tails off, and it was an amazing, amazing night. And so I just wanted to thank our people for everyone's hard work and putting it out there for us. We did great.
Totally agree. I can't thank staff enough. It came out seamless. Everybody was participating in it. It wasn't a one-person show, and it really showed. And everybody that was a part of it has reached out and said thank you. And so that's just tribute to our city and our staff. So I'm really thankful that we're moving it in that direction, and we got such great press. Anybody else?
I'd like to give a shout out to both police and fire for July 4th, not letting the town burn down.
Okay, so we have closed session.
Yes, for closed session, item 12A, conference with labor negotiators, agency designated representative, Deputy City Manager Sarah Eddy, and the employee organization is Turlock Firefighters Association, Local 2434. Item 12B is conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, potential cases 1.
All right, and we will report out should there be something to report out. Thank you all. We good? Georgie? Okay. And we're back, and we have nothing to report. Good night, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.